Vincent swiftly strikes his opponent, drawing the attention of the entire gathering, including the powerful patriarch. His swordplay is exceptional, masterfully manipulating the flow of mana to slice through his adversary's defenses. The attack is so fierce that it severs Revan's arm, causing him intense pain. Concerned, Vincent urges the referee to end the duel immediately, declaring a victor. Revan's father rushes onto the battlefield to aid his son, calling for a priest to attend to the severe injury. Vincent, despite his composed exterior, is internally shaken by the events. He had forewarned the referee to intervene before such a tragedy could unfold. After the tumultuous fight, Khan, overseeing the event, acknowledges Vincent as the winner of the True Swords Assembly. The prize for Vincent's victory is a miraculous stone. However, the celebration is short-lived as Revan's father, enraged and convinced of foul play, accuses Vincent of using underhanded tactics and seeking an apostle's power. The situation escalates when the priest reveals that Revan's injury is beyond their healing abilities, a type of wound they have never encountered. The concern grows as they realize even a high priest may not be able to reverse the damage. Revan's father, in denial and anger, blames everyone from the priests to Vincent for his son's irreversible injury. In response to these accusations, Vincent seeks permission from Khan to defend himself. Khan grants it, and Vincent explains that the assembly was conducted under the Patriarch's watchful eye, and any decisions made are deemed legitimate. By challenging these outcomes, Revan's father is essentially questioning the Patriarch's authority. Vincent orders Jaren of the White Sword Unit to arrest Revan's father for publicly disrespecting the Patriarch. The Patriarch intervenes, reminding Charles of his debt to Vincent and the potential family sanctions he narrowly avoided. The Patriarch allows the matter to pass, but warns Charles to remain silent in the future. The event concludes with Julian expressing gratitude for the experience and the Patriarch's commendation. Meanwhile, the grim reality settles in. Revan's right arm cannot be saved, a permanent loss from a battle that will be long remembered. Julian, in a soft, secretive voice, suggests a plan. He thinks it could really work out well for Vincent. Vincent, curious, asks the priest if there's a chance to use the magic stone to fix Revan's arm. It was Vincent, after all, who cut off Revan's right arm. Vincent feels it's only fair if he helps fix it. The head of the church, Patriarch Khan, agrees with the idea. Revan moves over to Charles and, with a swift move of his sword, sets him free. But Revan warns that this act of help comes with a price. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. To heal Revan's right arm, someone else must sacrifice their right arm. Vincent watches Charles, who seems hesitant. Vincent wonders if Charles really values his right arm that much. It turns out he does. Charles agrees to give up his right arm, showing he truly loves his son despite acting foolishly before. Just as Charles is about to cut off his arm, Zarin steps in. He's following Vincent's secret order to stop Charles. Vincent tells Charles he admires his bravery, but hopes he'll use it for better things in the future. With the matter settled, Khan hands the miracle stone to Vincent. Vincent quickly passes it to the priest, who starts working on healing Revan's arm. In no time, Revan's arm is as good as new. The idea to heal Revan was Julian's, although he regrets it a bit. He thinks the stone could have been used for something else, to satisfy the heavenly exoskeleton's thirst. Meanwhile, Wilson overhears everything. He's impressed by Vincent's actions and remembers something Vincent told him earlier. This makes Wilson decide to fully support Vincent from now on. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. What is the best connected universe in Manhwa? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. Now back to the recap. The priest, named Dullen, approaches Vincent. Dullen is a man devoted to Gaia and wants to thank Vincent for his kindness. To Vincent's surprise, Dullen returns the miracle stone. Dullen explains that he became a priest to bring joy and laughter to those who suffer. Seeing Vincent's actions, Dullen realizes that the value of a human life is greater than the miracle stone. Vincent modestly says he did nothing special, but he accepts the stone back to honor Dullen's gesture. Along with the stone, Dullen gives Vincent a card for future help from the temple. Dullen has recently been promoted to a second-class priest, though not everyone knows it yet. Julian is amazed by this. Being a second-class priest means unlimited treatments and other perks. The card Dullen gave is like a special pass to treat Vincent as a second-class priest. Vincent doesn't quite understand what second-class means, but he's grateful. As Dullen leaves, Julian is excited. They now have a powerful ally, even better than Wilson. Julian loves praise, and this situation is no different. Speaking of praise, there's a story about Father, the leader of their group. Once he invited a member of the family to dinner after the assembly of the True Swords. That person was Dea, the second daughter. She had a stunning victory at the assembly. Julian thinks there's a good chance Vincent might be invited to dinner too, considering his recent actions. Vincent feels a bit nervous but starts to get ready, even though he's not sure about the invitation yet. Moments later, Wilson bursts in with news. He tells Vincent that Boss Khan has invited him to dinner. Vincent nods, having expected this. On his way to dinner, Vincent meets his stepmother, Versa Hillam. She's proud of Vincent for winning the competition. Vincent's real mom died when he was born, and since then, Versa has been taking care of him. Before she retired, Versa was a legendary martial artist, known as a giant in the field. Now she handles everything for the Adenka house. Together, they head to meet Khan. The pressure in the room is intense. Vincent struggles to breathe. This atmosphere is new to him. It's like a test. Vincent boldly tells Khan that there's no need for such pressure in a private meeting. Khan admits Vincent is right. He's called Vincent for 2 reasons. First, to celebrate Vincent's victory today, and second, to discuss some concerns raised by Charles. Versa, standing tall and looking quite serious, inspects Vincent. Khan wonders if Vincent could be an apostle, but Versa doesn't think so. Vincent feels uncomfortable under Versa's piercing gaze. She has a special ability to see the truth. Khan is curious about Vincent's martial arts skills. How did he manage to defeat Rivan, a 2-star martial artist? Versa mentions that Vincent's style is like the sword of the hero king, Samyon, who could defeat any evil with his unique swordplay. Versa steps closer to Vincent, asking him about his swordplay. Vincent realizes it's Versa, not Khan, who's leading this conversation. She's questioning the origins of his martial arts. Julian, worried, whispers to Vincent not to answer. Versa can detect lies. Julian suggests Vincent should be cautious, but Vincent reassures him. He decides to take the first step in overcoming this challenge. He tells Versa he received a revelation. This alarms Versa. Revelations without blessings are rare and often ominous. Julian hadn't warned Vincent about this. Seeing Vincent act suspiciously, Versa threatens to take him to the Holy Court for a trial. Julian urges Vincent to stick to his story. If Versa finds him suspicious, she can confirm with the temple. Vincent stands firm, ready to face whatever comes next. However, if Vincent was evil, couldn't a priest with a high-level miracle stone like Dullen, given to him by Versa, recognize it? Dullen uses his miracle stone to check Vincent. He finds that Vincent isn't lying. Dullen then asks Vincent about his sword skills. Did he really learn them through a revelation? Vincent explains that while he has learned many things through revelations, his swordplay isn't one of them. He's always had a talent for understanding the mysterious ways of the sword. Vincent admits he thought hard about learning it, even if it made others suspicious. He didn't want to be a coward and do nothing. Vincent and Julian's truths can face each other, and only together can they defeat the challenges ahead, including the Samian family. Vincent wants to show his strength to his family, including Khan, to help them make the right decisions. Khan, thoughtfully rubbing his chin, seems satisfied with Vincent's answers. Versa then speaks up. She tells Khan that Vincent's skills remind her of the Demon King abilities. If Vincent uses the Hero King's sword, the Samian family might cause trouble, but if Vincent masters the Demon King's sword, they won't have any reason to complain. Khan agrees and tells Vincent to keep training hard and stay out of trouble. Vincent understands this is both an approval and a warning. Khan tells Vincent he's impressed with his performance in the assembly of the true swords and offers him a reward. Vincent, wanting to grow stronger, asks for access to the family library, usually only open to top martial artists. Khan agrees, allowing him into the lower library. He also gives Vincent the Crimson Lotus, a famous sword that Khan himself used when he was young. The sword is a piece of the Adenka family's history. Julian is excited about their achievements, but Vincent assures him there's more to come. Initially, Julian was unsure about Vincent not being the Spirit King, but now he trusts Vincent completely. As Vincent is about to leave with Wilson, Versa calls out to him. She expresses her pride in his achievements and suggests that since Vincent defeated Raven, he should train at the Crimson Fortress. This prestigious training center is only for those who have won significant victories and subdued powerful demons. Versa notices Vincent's hesitation and realizes that his unique sword techniques might be taking a toll on his body. Versa then warns Vincent that fighting the Crimson Demon in his current state is too risky. She cares about Vincent and knows he's not ready to defeat such a powerful enemy in one attack. Vincent appreciates her advice, understanding she could have framed him for anything with her lie-detecting ability, but she chose not to. He interrupts her to express his gratitude, leaving before she can explain more about the Crimson Demon. Versa is proud, seeing Vincent taking big steps as a martial artist. Meanwhile, Wilson is at work when he meets Siri. She's upset with him, thinking he's meddling with Vincent's affairs, but she soon realizes how loyal Wilson has become to Vincent and wonders if he's the same person as before. Wilson tells Siri that Vincent is in the family library, a place only for skilled martial artists. In the library, Vincent discovers that all records from 500 years ago are missing, as if someone deliberately removed them. There are only children's stories about the Demon King and the Hero King. Julian suspects that someone erased the records, possibly altering the truth about the sword skills. Vincent decides to focus on enhancing his sword skills to defeat the Crimson Demon. He needs a new training method before tackling the imagery theory. Julian, curious about Vincent's true identity, asks him directly. Vincent hesitates, knowing revealing he is the great demon could shock Julian, but he decides to be honest, respecting Julian as the previous owner of his body. When Vincent reveals his identity, Julian reacts strangely, hearing an unbearable sound that makes him not want to know more. Vincent then finds a book titled First Love with a Watermill in the Mana training section. It seems out of place, suggesting it holds secrets. Initially, it appears to be a regular romance novel, but Vincent senses something different about it. He tells Julian that the character in the book has no images, but the power of love is a strong trait. Vincent realizes that traits shouldn't be used just to flow mana. To manifest traits, one must make mana flow in a new way, discarding the whole theory of imagery. This book, telling a story of someone who accumulated mana without imagery, could be key to manifesting traits. Julian warns Vincent that learning a new trait is dangerous, even with the help of imagery. Traits are valuable to martial artists, and they won't teach the flow easily. But now, Vincent and Julian have a clue to become stronger. After deciding to seek new ways to enhance his skills, Vincent is about to leave for tests. On his way out, he bumps into Siri, who seems to know all about his recent challenges and is impressed by him. Vincent is puzzled. He doesn't recognize her. Julian explains that Siri is a maid who had been away due to family issues. Despite everything, she's always cared a lot about Vincent. Then, unexpectedly, Revan appears, wanting to speak with Vincent. They go to a private room, but Vincent can feel the tension in the air. Moments later, Revan begins to talk. He's there to settle his debt from the assembly of the True Swords. Vincent is on guard, anticipating an attack, but Revan's intentions are different. Revan admits he's grateful to Vincent for not only forgiving him, but also giving him the miracle stone to restore his arm. He feels he's regained everything, his arm and his father's respect, but hasn't been able to give anything back. Revan confesses he was a coward, but now wants to change. The best way he can think of to do that is to swear his loyalty to Vincent. Julian is skeptical and doesn't trust Revan, but Revan places his sword in front of Vincent. It's a martial artist's way of offering their life to someone. Julian still has doubts, but Vincent accepts Revan's oath, agreeing to trust him until he gives a reason not to. Revan, realizing that Vincent possesses the Crimson Lotus, a renowned sword, vows to never make Vincent regret accepting his allegiance. Siri watches this exchange, amazed at how much Vincent has grown from the times he was underestimated. Meanwhile, Julian has an idea. He wants to try to gain the traits from Revan's Dwarf King's blessing. Elsewhere, Versa is talking to Khan. She informs him that Vincent plans to join the Crimson Fortress next year to conquer the Crimson Demon. Versa shares the truth about the demon. It can only be attacked using mana of a 3rd star or higher, as it has no physical form. The conquest of the demon is a rite of passage, a test to prove one's mana is strong enough. Versa has noticed that Revan has been spending more time with Vincent, even moving in to assist him. Vincent, guided by Revan, is training hard, trying to gain the Dwarven King's blessing. They're using methods from the book Vincent found, as he has no imagery. Revan's loyalty is put to the test in this process. As for Vincent, he needs to meditate beside Revan. Revan feels a bit embarrassed by this, but doesn't mind. For the first time, he finds defeat to be a surprisingly positive experience. In the midst of their intense training, Revan is astonished by Vincent's extreme methods. Julian, watching closely, tries to guide Vincent. Vincent is meditating, but he's also pushing himself hard, taking risks with his life. Revan warns Vincent that he's being too spontaneous and should be more careful. However, Vincent has always lived life on the edge. Even in his past life as Davin, he couldn't achieve anything without risking it all. The meditation session becomes more intense. Julian fears for Vincent's life, thinking he might push himself too far. Despite the risk, Vincent is determined to force the flow of mana and connect it. Revan tries to stop him, saying it's too soon, but Vincent succeeds in connecting the flows. Suddenly, a massive explosion rocks the room. Vincent is unharmed, but realizes he may have tried to do too much too soon. What took Revan half a year, Vincent attempted in a much shorter time. Khan, observing their progress, notes that the next Crimson Fortress entrance is half a year away. He believes Vincent, already a conqueror of a 2-star martial artist, might find it easy. So Khan decides to challenge Vincent. He must defeat the Crimson Demon within a month. Rhaelsa is tasked with delivering this message to Vincent. She's worried that 1 month is too short a time for such a daunting task. When Rhaelsa enters the training room, she finds it in chaos. With Vincent and Revan injured from the explosion, Vincent downplays the incident, telling Rhaelsa they were just meditating. She then relays Khan's message about the 1-month deadline. Julian is shocked. No one has ever been given a time limit before. This means Khan has high expectations for Vincent. Rhaelsa will stay with Vincent as his protector until the month is over, expecting him to give his best. Revan expresses concern, believing Vincent will need at least 2 months to receive the Dwarven King's blessing. Vincent realizes the urgency of the situation. Meanwhile, Siri, observing the situation, doesn't want Vincent to overexert himself. She notices that Siri possesses a large amount of mana, but asks her to leave as he needs to discuss strategies with Revan. Revan points out that 1 month is not enough to prepare, and they need to find a different approach. Then, in a surprising turn of events, Vincent meditates again and reveals to Revan the completed mana circuit. Against all odds, he has managed to complete the flow, meaning he can now easily reach the manifestation stage. With this achievement, Vincent is sure to exceed Khan's expectations, without needing to wait for a month. 2 weeks later, Vincent is in the forest, practicing hard. He's getting ready to try something big, manifesting special traits, but he remembers the last time there was a huge explosion, so he warns his friend Revan to stay back. Revan, though, wants to stay close and support Vincent. Vincent starts focusing, and suddenly Julian feels something weird. Out of nowhere, the Dwarf King appears, but only Julian can see him. The Dwarf King looks ready to fight, but he's actually there to help. He's going to give Vincent a special power, the first trait of defense, which makes Vincent stronger. It's like becoming a man of steel. Revan is super surprised. Vincent has made so much progress, and it's not even been a month. Now Vincent can handle the heavy absolute sword. He's laid the foundation to beat the Crimson Demon. Vincent is thankful to Revan and asks him for another favor. 2 days pass, and it's time for Vincent to head to the Crimson Demon's lair. He asks Ryelsa for something, but she's worried. It's not been a month yet. She talks about how she's protected people in a special rite of passage, like Khan, Vincent's brothers, and many others. No one has ever failed, and Vincent won't be the first. Vincent assures Ryelsa he'll be fine. They're ready for the mission. Vincent isn't thrilled about having a guardian like Ryelsa on this mission, but Julian points out that they might find treasure from the Crimson Demon. Plus, someone has to keep an eye on Vincent. Ryelsa asks Vincent if he knows enough about the Crimson Demon. He says he needs 3 stars plus mana to beat it. Ryelsa isn't sure Vincent is strong enough yet, but Vincent is confident. He doesn't need to study monsters. He's ready to fight them. He warns Ryelsa not to underestimate him. Ryelsa wants to help because she's Vincent's guardian and protector. Vincent reminds her about some budget issues, suspecting she might have a hidden agenda, but he's not too bothered since Ryelsa didn't ask about his training. They're even. Finally, they arrive at the Crimson Demon's lair, also known as the Old Temple, in memory of Father Arslan. Vincent thinks about how he'll face more than just the Crimson Demon here, remembering his fight with the great demon Davin Arson. Ryelsa gets ready to make a mana barrier that only lets 1 monster through. Then the Crimson Demon appears. Vincent draws his sword, telling Ryelsa to watch closely and remember everything. The Crimson Demon attacks. Julian advises Vincent to dodge and use the absolute sword slash, but Vincent has another plan. He decides to get closer, which is better against an enemy with a long weapon. Finch swings his sword hard at the demon, his eyes fierce. "Don't even think about using the scythe!" he shouts. He knows getting close to fight with a big weapon like that can be smart. Watching from a distance, Ryelsa can't believe how amazing Vincent is doing in his first real fight. He's only 14, but he fights like he's done this many times before. It's like the Dwarf King's training did wonders, helping Vincent move in just the right way. But this is just the start of his journey to master the sword. Vincent's next move is brilliant. He sees a chance to put more space between him and the Crimson Demon. The demon is fierce and looks tired from all the blocking. Vincent knows the demon's next move will be big, leaving him open to attack. And when an enemy leaves themselves open, it's easy to strike with the absolute sword slash. Just when Vincent thinks he's defeated the Crimson Demon, something unexpected happens. The demon, it turns out, has a second life. This is why nobody can beat it with just 1 attack. The demon comes at Vincent with renewed energy, but Vincent is ready. He remembers this from 500 years ago, though the demon looks faster and different now. They've evolved. When a Crimson Demon comes back to life, it gets wilder, faster, and stronger. Vincent keeps dodging, which is tough because there's no easy way to escape. The path is blocked. The demon is relentless. Meanwhile, Julian talks about the temple, suggesting a change in plans. But Vincent has another idea. He wants to trick the demon into lowering its guard. The demon is thinking the same, aiming to trap Vincent for a final blow. At that critical moment, Vincent plans to strike. Ryelsa watches, knowing she can't step in. It's Vincent's fight. She prays to Sarvana, hoping her son will win. Then she remembers Sarvana, how they met when Ryelsa was surviving by stealing. Sarvana, who seemed crazy at first, asked Ryelsa to join her. Along with Khan and Versa, they formed a team. They went on adventures, becoming legends in Adenka. They once defeated an ogre. Ryelsa distracted it while Sarvana struck from behind. Sarvana was not only strong, but also had a way of bringing joy to people. She was a light in Ryelsa's life until she passed away, leaving behind Vincent. Ryelsa has watched over Vincent for 14 years, seeing how he was treated poorly, even by his own brothers. But things changed when Khan recognized Vincent's potential. Ryelsa now has hope for her son. She doesn't want Vincent to show any weakness, especially not now. As the Crimson Demon prepares to attack, Vincent calls for Revan, who appears and blocks the demon's attack. Ryelsa is shocked to see Revan. Then Vincent takes a moment to think. This is dangerous. If Revan is pushed too hard, Even a small hit could be deadly for Vincent. The fierce battle between Revan and the terrifying demon rages on. Revan uses his powerful Man of Steel to block the demon's fierce attacks. He then taunts the demon, making him even angrier, but Revan's sword just can't stand up to the demon's strength. The Crimson Demon figures this out and starts attacking the sword directly. He hits it over and over until snap! The sword breaks. Now Revan is in trouble. Without his sword, how can he protect himself? The demon, seeing his chance, strikes with his scary scythe. Revan tries his best to hold it off, but it's really hard. He can only stop it for a little bit before it cuts him. But Revan's not giving up. He's tough and he's done something important. While he was fighting, Vincent was getting ready. He was meditating and perfecting his ultimate move, the absolute sword slash technique. And just in time, Vincent jumps into the battle. With a single powerful blow, he strikes right at the Crimson Demon's core. Boom! The demon is finally defeated. Vincent turns to Revan and thanks him for his brave help. Meanwhile, Rylsa is watching, and she's impressed, but she's also a bit worried. She's not sure if Khan would be happy about Vincent getting help. After all, Vincent is supposed to impress Khan, right? Vincent explains to Rylsa. He says that he controlled the mana barrier so only one monster could attack them at a time. Since they already beat one monster, another one will surely come next. This next battle is Vincent's chance to show his strength. Then something amazing happens. Vincent eats a miracle stone, makes him stronger, but even with this new power, he can only use the absolute sword slash 2 times. It's a mystery how the miracle stone works, but that's why Vincent had to meditate. He needs to be really focused. Vincent stands ready, his body tense. The Crimson Demon's core is out in the open, trying to heal itself. Vincent sees his chance. He knows where to strike. With a swift move of his sword, he cuts the demon core in half. Rylsa, who was worried, realizes she didn't need to be. Vincent did an amazing job. But wow, he's really tired now. Julian is curious. He asks what kind of sword technique makes you so tired after using it just a couple of times. Vincent knows it's because of his training, meditation, and the miracle stone. Without them, he couldn't have done it. Julian tells Vincent to rest, and that Rylsa will help move him. But Vincent is determined. He says that in the True Swords Assembly, the real winner is the one who can keep going to the very end. He refuses to give up. Just when things seem calm, something unexpected happens. A summoning circle appears. Rylsa is shocked. She's never seen anything like this. It's a giant guardian, like a relic or a Pokemon. Rylsa's attention had initially drifted amidst the colossal chamber, the very heart of the labyrinthine structure that had eluded discovery for centuries. The Guardian, a hulking and silent sentinel, stood as the sentinel of this long-forgotten sanctuary, shrouded in mysteries. She'd been intent on unraveling its enigmatic mission, a task that proved more challenging than she had anticipated. The Guardian, ancient and weathered, remained as stoic as the stones it watched over, and its responses were elusive, cloaked in the silence of ages past. Frustration and curiosity danced in Rylsa's eyes as she tried in vain to coax the Guardian into revealing its secrets. It was clear that the Guardian's age had rendered it unresponsive, its purpose forever locked away in the annals of history. Turning away from the enigmatic figure, she sought Revan's assistance in moving Vincent, who lay unconscious, the toll of their perilous journey having finally caught up with him. With Vincent safely relocated to a more secure spot, Rylsa knew that they couldn't linger in this cryptic chamber for long. She summoned her knowledge of Balavian swordsmanship, a technique she had mastered during her training, and which now held the key to their survival. As her blade danced through the air, she unleashed a technique from the 7th chapter, a technique that seemed almost otherworldly. With precision and grace, she froze the Guardian in its tracks before delivering a swift and powerful strike, leaving no doubt that she was a 7th-star level fighter, a true master of her craft. However, the battle was far from over. Vincent, despite his weakened state, had a keen sense of the danger that still lurked. Drawing upon his last reserves of strength, he launched an attack in the direction he believed the Guardian to be. To their astonishment, it turned out that the enormous Guardian was merely a clever disguise. The real Guardian, much smaller and far more agile, had been concealed all along, and it was now heading towards Revan and Vincent with deadly intent. Recognizing the imminent threat, Rylsa summoned another technique, moving with the speed and agility of lightning to intercept the real Guardian. Her blade sliced through the air, and with a flash of steel, she struck down the true threat. It was a display of unparalleled skill and precision, a testament to her prowess as a warrior. With the danger now averted, Rylsa turned her attention back to the ancient chamber and its mysterious Guardian. The Guardian, defeated and broken, lay in a crumpled heap. It was a bittersweet victory, for while they had emerged triumphant, the Guardian had taken its secrets to the grave. As Rylsa and her companions stood amidst the remnants of their battle, the enormity of their discovery became apparent. Hidden within an archaic box, encrusted with the dust of ages, lay a complete dragon skeleton, a marvel of a bygone era. Its bones whispered tales of ancient legends, likely left by the enigmatic founder, Arson, and it radiated a rare, almost mystical aura. It was a prize beyond measure, the very heart of the rite of passage they had embarked upon. Vincent and Raelsa shared a knowing look, understanding the significance of their find. It was a legacy, a relic that would traditionally belong to a lineage, safeguarded through generations. Raelsa, however, knew the peril this discovery posed. The wrong eyes could spell disaster, and she was resolute in her determination to protect their newfound treasure and navigate the brewing storm that lay ahead. A moment of decision arrived, and with a blend of respect and resolve, Vincent drew his blade and cleaved the dragon skeleton in twain. It was not just a claim to the treasure, but a pledge of alliance, a symbol of their shared journey and triumph. Later, Raelsa made her way to Khan, the master of the Graveyard of Swords, eager to share the tale of their adventure and discovery. "Khan," she began, her voice echoing in the hallowed space, "Vincent's rite of passage has reached its end." She recounted their encounter with the Crimson Demon, their struggle and eventual victory. Khan listened intently, his interest piqued, but a shadow of concern crossed his face when he learned of Vincent's assistance in the battle. However, Raelsa quickly supplemented her story with Vincent's solo feats, including the discovery of the dragon skeleton, an Adenka legacy that had now resurfaced. Khan's demeanor shifted at the mention of the skeleton, and he issued a direct challenge to Raelsa to break the dragon's remains. Despite her formidable skills and the North Wind technique at her disposal, the skeleton withstood her efforts. Khan revealed a daunting truth. Only a swordsman of the highest caliber could fracture such a relic. Raelsa couldn't help but recall Vincent's effortless division of the skeleton, a feat that now seemed even more extraordinary and marked the beginning of their new chapter as protectors of this ancient treasure. Before we continue, let's take a moment to shout out at Kalebe, they who commented "Hugh Woo" on our Omniscient Reader video. Thanks for commenting. The narrative then shifts to Vincent's homecoming, a moment filled with a profound sense of relief and joy that radiated from Wilson's every expression. Seri, who had been a steadfast companion during Vincent's tumultuous journey, observed the necessity of rest etched across his face. She knew that after such an ordeal, recovery was not just a luxury, but a vital requirement for her friend. As they settled into the cozy living room of Wilson's rustic cottage, the conversation naturally turned to Vincent's impending journey to the Crimson Fortress. The mere mention of that foreboding place sent shivers down the spines of those who knew it, for it was infamous for its monstrous inhabitants and formidable martial artists who guarded its secrets with unwavering determination. Vincent, ever observant, couldn't help but notice an unusual aura surrounding Seri, an enigmatic quality that had piqued his curiosity from the moment they had met. His curiosity finally got the better of him, and he inquired about her heritage. What he learned sent shockwaves through him. Seri was connected to the fallen Hisley family, a lineage known far and wide for their groundbreaking study of mana and the human body. They were the discoverers of the heavenly exoskeleton, a legendary armor that granted incredible power, and a technique that allowed the direct infusion of mana into one's being, a technique aptly named Magic Body. As they delved deeper into the history of the Hisley family, the mystery only deepened. Seri's grandmother, the last of her line, had taken many secrets to her grave, and the Hisley legacy was shrouded in darkness and intrigue. Julian, who had joined the conversation, was astonished at the connection between the Hisley family and such a powerful technique. Vincent couldn't help but wonder if the family's downfall was intricately linked to their groundbreaking discoveries, perhaps silenced to keep the heavenly exoskeleton hidden from the world. Their conversation then veered towards Vincent's mother, Sarvana, a name seldom mentioned due to the emotional weight it carried, particularly for Khan. Wilson revealed the profound impact Sarvana had on their lives, especially on Raelsa, whom she had found in a time of great despair. Raelsa remembered Sarvana as an extraordinary soul who had touched her life in ways that were difficult to put into words. The focus then shifted to Revan's departure. His alliance had been crucial in securing the Crimson Demon, but his path lay elsewhere. Vincent implored him for a final favor, to unearth the veiled history of the Hisley family. There was a suspicion that the records had been altered, but perhaps the truth lingered in the forgotten branches of their lineage. They parted with promises of strength and future reunions, knowing that their destinies remained intertwined. Back at home, Vincent sought Raelsa's aid, not as Sarvana's son, but as Vincent Adenka. He requested her guidance in preparation for the challenges that lay within the Crimson Fortress. Raelsa agreed, her commitment unwavering, but her warning was clear. The training would be rigorous, demanding every ounce of his strength and willpower. Their sessions were a testament to their determination and skill, marked by the clash of swords and the echoes of intense battles. Vincent, though progressing, was yet to match Ryelsa's mastery. She withheld her ultimate weapon, the Black Moon Sword, deeming Vincent not yet ready to face its formidable power. Weeks passed, marked by relentless training and shattered swords. Ryelsa's frustration mounted with each broken blade, and her concern for Vincent's readiness grew. Determined to find a solution, she decided to confront the blacksmith, seeking a blade that could endure the rigors of their training and propel Vincent towards the daunting challenges that awaited him within the Crimson Fortress. The blacksmith Hansen. What will happen next? Find out next time by staying tuned for our future recaps. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great recaps.